Hey guys, Isaac with 2B Green Consulting here. Today's video I'm going to talk about the 5 mistakes that I see lawn and landscape businesses make. Some of these are going to apply to startups, some of these are going to apply to after you have a couple seasons under your belt. Okay, for those of you that don't know me, I have made it my mission and my passion to help starting entrepreneurs in the industry, the lawn and landscape industry, become successful through every aspect of the business. Through hiring, through the service they choose, through marketing, and the day-to-day business operations. Let's get started. Number one, the service that you choose. This is absolutely for a startup. I see so many people that do not stand out with their service. Now, this does not mean that you have to offer a different way of cutting, a different service entirely. It just means that you have to stand out on some part of the service that you offer. It could be that you offer a subservice. It could be by offering a subservice. It could be by offering a different manner that you communicate. It could be by the way you submit estimates. Everything could be done through the computer, and the comfort could be much higher on the consumer end. By just going into business to think that I'm just going to do lawn care and really just like everybody else, that's going to set you up to fail, okay? To at least the level that I'm trying to get you. Number two, pricing. This goes directly with the service and that we just discussed. I can't give you the exact, okay, you need to do $70 an hour, you need to do 65. I can't do that because I don't know your exact situation. I don't know what service you're providing. I don't know your community and how much you can actually get for a job. But what I see most people make the mistake is that they do not have a quote plan in place. This is something that is pivotal in my academy that I teach my students. We need to implement a quote plan into every estimate that we give, because no matter how much we think we are in line with how much we need to make, that we've analyzed our expenses, that, wow, I'm really doing really great, our mind can trick us into thinking what we want it to think. So we need to have a quote plan in place so we can analyze every possible expense, the insurance, the equipment, the hiring, and eventually make a profit. So the mistake that I see is that we decide to develop a quote plan too late, and we actually don't stick to the quoting plan. I know it's easier, and I was in this position myself, that it was sometimes just easier to, yeah, I think that's a $75 job, $75 lawn, but it's going to cost you in the long run, and it's going to set your business up on a foundation that's not built on organization, it's not built on consistency, and it's not going to take your business to where you want it to go. Number three, the equipment that you choose to purchase and how you maintain that equipment. Where I see most people make the mistake is that they do not supply their business and their service with the adequate equipment. Now, I was in your position as well. At one point, I could not afford my dream equipment that I felt that I wanted. However, this meant that I was expanding too fast. We need gradual expansion according to our services. That way we can gradually expand our equipment. The reason for this is if we start expanding too quickly with poor equipment, it's just going to hurt us and we become too inflated in our business. Our business, I think you can see where I'm going with this. Our business cannot rely on that equipment, and eventually is going to likely fail us in the future. So everything in our business needs to be a gradual expansion and know that we can expand upon into this new arena after we just complete a new service. It's just like you're adding a new service. You don't add a second service until you know that the first service can provide for that second service. Just because we're doing well on a service doesn't mean that now is the time to add a second service unless we know that it can provide for our second one. Thing that goes with being money tight is that, just like a quote plan, is that you need a formula sheet for how you're going to purchase your equipment and how much you can actually spend. I'm going to put on the screen right here, right now, the formula sheet that I provide my students, and as you can see, it's blocked out because what I want you to do is hit the link down in the description below. That's where I'm going to give you the exact formula sheet that I give my academies, and it's going to be personalized to your business and your community. Same thing with the formula sheet for the quote plan. You need to stick to it after you've made the plan. And I know that it takes some time to make this quote plan and that it takes time for it to be accurate. But I promise you it's worth it in the long run because your business is going to be much more organized and you're going to allow it to scale up much bigger. Number 4, hiring. Now, hiring is one of those things where it can either be your key to scaling your business or it can be what eventually fails your business. That is why we see so many people talking about hiring, how to hire, when to hire, who not to hire, and the whole interview skills, okay? Where I see most people make mistakes, and I'm going to make this very simple for you, is that we're hiring from a point of desperation. We are hiring too quickly and too hastily. That means that we are hiring too soon. We eventually compensate because we know that deep down we know the employee is not who we need them to be, but we're compensating because we need them. We're desperate. This always comes into giving too much responsibility too fast. By giving too much responsibility too fast, you are just adding a liability to your business. That's how you need to look at hiring because, yes, we all want that perfect employee that can do the job perfectly, that can work just as well as we work, and can help our business progress. And we know that eventually that employee is going to have a lot of responsibility. But that great employee did not have that responsibility from the start. And by giving too much responsibility from the start, we are just, like I said, adding a liability and adding risk to our business. Last, business operations. This is a tough one because this is the hardest one to correct and to sort of weed our minds and our business off. And I know this is going to be a tough topic to hear, but not weeding off the bad work. Imagine your perfect customer that you are servicing this season. Imagine you have 100 customers and maybe 40 of those customers are good to great customers. The rest are fair to bad. Those good to great customers, believe it or not, those are the customers that are responsible for the vast majority of revenue in your business. Not only by a dollar amount, but also what we have to account for is that these customers make your business run much more smoothly. These customers are the ones that allow you to offer new services to them and progress into different markets by giving you more time. So what we have to do, and I know this is difficult when we have personal relationships like I did with our customers, but we need to start putting our time in the right locations by actually weeding out what work we provide. And sometimes that means leaving a client. I actually spoke too soon. In business operations, after a couple seasons we've been successful in business, we the bosses do not put our times in the correct locations. Again, I cannot say that you should not be out in the field doing every job. I cannot say that you should just be in the office because I don't know how your business is set up. But if you and I get on a call together, what we're going to be able to figure out is what's actually necessary in your business for you to do, what's possible for you to delegate. Delegate's another one of those big terms that we hear thrown around, but what it allows you to do is it allows you to spend your time most effectively where it is needed. I'm going to go back, and this is the last thing I talk about, the service progression because it's a good example. When we start, we offer one service. Then, at the right point, I'm not going to get into it, but we start offering a second service. At this point, in this progression, that takes a lot of our effort because we need equipment, we need crews, we need insurance, we need a whole, it's like we're starting, not from scratch because we're already in place, but we're starting a new service, so we're looking for clientele, everything. This is going to take almost all your effort at this time. And it should, because that's what drives the business forward. At this point, you need to delegate service number one. I see so many people that they know, okay, I got to expand. But they're holding one leg behind the other because they need to take care of number one. And to do this effectively, it's everything. There's so many different parts. It's gradual expansion, it's delegating, it's having your, believe it or not, your quote plan in place so you can delegate effectively. It's having your equipment right. Everything goes into this progression so that you can put your time where it's most needed. I mentioned a couple times in this video where I can help you specifically, especially with this formula sheet, I link down in the description below. This has been Isaac Bjork with Subi Green Consulting. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.